It's actually very flexible and difficult to follow because you don't know what the teacher is talking about. Hello everyone, I'm Evelyn's classmate. I did my undergraduate degree at Cornell with a double major in politics and East Asian studies, then chose to stay at Cornell for 3 years of law school. I studied at World Youth Academy for high school, transferring there in the second half of my first year. Let's talk about MYP because I studied IPCSE in Germany, which is comparable to MYP. Now at World Youth Academy, you have the option to choose between MYP and IPCSE. I often have parents of former students ask me which system is more suitable for their child. Since you studied MYP and I studied IP, we can share the differences between them. What do you think of MYP's overall curriculum design? MYP doesn't have fixed knowledge points and exam topics. It focuses on students developing certain abilities, and the teachers determine the specific knowledge to be learned based on that. So my biggest impression is that MYP is very ability-oriented, not knowledge-oriented. MYP has no unified exam each year. Students studying MYP worldwide aren't expected to know the same knowledge points. It's not like that. The teachers look at the abilities MYP aims to develop, and based on that, they design the courses. So it's very likely that 2 students studying MYP could be learning completely different things. So the grading was done by the teachers at that time? Yes, the grading was done by the teachers. I have a clear impression that MYP provides criteria, more general ones, that you need to have evaluation and analysis skills. We teach these knowledge points. So whether you've mastered something or not is entirely based on the rubric provided by the teachers. So when it comes to the details of the knowledge points, all of these are taught by the teacher. I feel like there's a college vibe where the university will say it's intro to psych, and then most people will cover these things, but every professor teaches it a bit differently. Yes, that's actually very similar to IGCSE. With IGCSE, we can see the syllabus and knowledge points on the official website. And no matter which school you attend in the world, as long as it's IGCSE, the content is the same globally. So your teacher will definitely have to teach the exam content. The syllabus, including the textbook, is clearly laid out, and we have many unit books with exams about once every 1 or 2 months for each subject. The exam content is also all there. We have past year's real questions that we need to practice, and then take the exams. So it's relatively rare to have a grade based on things like a single project or the teacher's discretion. It's more that we follow the exam scores as the main determinant. MYP is actually very flexible because the teacher can decide if you take an exam, write an essay, do a presentation, or even an interpretive dance. There are no restrictions on the mode and format. It's completely up to your own teacher. So I think it's actually very flexible and also quite hard to adapt to because you don't know what the teacher will teach. It's the opposite of courses that have specific test points. I feel it's a different type of course. So what type of children do you think a system like MYP is more suitable for? I think MYP will be more suitable for children who are self-motivated because MYP's teaching focuses on ability. So a large part of it is the child's own exploration and development, where you work hard to learn, search for various materials, and then produce work based on those things. So you'll learn a lot. Not through cramming, but with some teacher guidance, and a lot of self-study and exploration. For ICCS, I feel it's quite the opposite. ICCS is more suitable for self-comparison. It doesn't push you. Without specific knowledge points and exams, students won't work hard. Kids know what to memorize and review for tests. Everything is very clear. It's also more example-based. Pushing you to review, you must submit assignments by deadlines. For those who don't like pushing, the teacher sets the task and you do it. This really develops self-learning skills. Do you have standardized tests? How does the school assess your academic level? They had introduced a standardized test, but during my years it was experimental. The test didn't have substantial results. We just took it. I don't even remember getting scores. It seemed to be for internal school assessment. We weren't given the results. Our courses weren't taught to that test. So it was hard to use for accurate assessment. So I felt that at that time, MYP, I was a bit confused myself. I learned things, but I couldn't compare myself to others because, like Hamlet, 100 MYP students have 100 different MYP courses. Thanks to Angela for sharing her journey from Shijing to Cornell. That's all for this episode. Bye. See you next time.